Hello friends, welcome to our YouTube channel Current Affairs 77. Today is 24 August and we are going to discuss a very relevant topic from our UPSC and state PCS perspective, that is delimitation and its commission. If you are watching first time in our channel, subscribe our page and press the notification bell for upcoming updates. So let's move to our topic, delimitation and its concern, as it has been in news from last week. So according to Article 82 of the Indian Constitution, the central government can set up a delimitation commission after every 10 years. Under Article 82 of the Indian Constitution, which gives the central government power, which gives the power to central government to set up a delimitation commission after every 10 years, after every census. So this article provides the power to central government to set up a commission which will decide the boundary of a particular state or of an area. So there are 5 factors kept in mind while doing the delimitation. So there are some points on which the delimitation commission focuses, that is area, population, nature of the area, communication facilities. So these are some points on which the delimitation commission focuses onto these points, into these points. And how is delimitation carried out? How is this process being carried out? So delimitation is carried out by independent delimitation commission. This delimitation process is carried out with the help of delimitation commission. Delimitation commission is being made by under Article 82, as we have discussed earlier. So the constitution mandates that its orders are final and cannot be questioned before any court, as it would hold up an election indefinitely. So these are the boundary which have been decided by the delimitation commission cannot be questioned in any court, because it would hold up an election indefinitely. So under article, the parliament enacts a delimitation act after every census, and article 82 also gives the parliament a power to establish or enact a delimitation act after every census. So how it is composed? Yeah, how delimitation commission is being composed? So it is being composed of retired Supreme Court judges, the chief election commissioner, and the respective state election commissioners. So this delimitation commission is composed of the mainly Supreme Court, the retired Supreme Court judges, and the chief election commissioner, and the respective state election commissioner in which state it is going to be conducted. Their state election commissioner will also be be in this part of the delimitation commission. What are the functions of this delimitation commission? The number and the boundaries of constituencies in a way that the population of all seats. So this delimitation commission decides the number of the seats and the boundaries of the constituency. Seats reserved for scheduled castes, that is SC, and scheduled tribes, these are where their population is relatively large. Somewhere in the state or in a particular area where the population of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes are more than anyone else, so they will be given a particular slot, or their seats will be reserved. Difference of opinion among members of the commission, the opinion of majority prevails. If there is a variety, if there is a different thoughts or different opinions of the members of the delimitation commission, then the opinion of the majority prevails. Whatever the decision they may have taken, that will be accepted by all. That must be accepted by all. The draft proposals of the delimitation commission are published in the Gazette of India. So the proposals which have been made by the delimitation commission are published in the Gazette of India. Official gazettes of states concerned, and at least 2 vernacular papers for public feedback. So the official gazettes of the respective states will also publish it in their gazette, and at least in the 2 vernacular papers they will release it for the public feedback. So they must get the public feedback for this delimitation. The final order is published in the Gazette of India and the State Gazette, and comes into force on a date specified by the President. So these will be published by the Government of India, the Gazette of India. This delimitation is published in the Gazette of India and State Gazette, and they will be enacted after the after the approval of the president, or they will come into force on a date specified by the president. How often has delimitation been done in the past? Means how many times it has been done in the past. So the first delimitation exercise in 1950-51 was carried out by president with the help of election commission, as the constitution at that time was silent on who should undertake the division of states into Lok Sabha seats. So it was generally our new constitution was made was enacted, or so after the commencement of the constitution. So the president decided to the first delimitation exercise was carried out by president with the help of election commission. This delimitation was temporary, as constitution mandated redrawing of boundaries after every census. So this delimitation was temporary, as the constitution mandated, and hence another delimitation was due after 1951 census. Subsequently, the Delimitation Commission Act was enacted in 1952. So in 1952, Delimitation Commission Act was enacted, and later delimitation commissions have been set up 4 times, that is in 1952, 1963, 1973, and 2002. All these commissions were being set up under the acts of 1952, 1962, 1972, and 2002 respectively. So there was no delimitation after the 1981 and 1991 censuses. So why is delimitation needed? Why is there a need, and why it is being creating? Why it is going to be controversial, or why it is creating such conflict or rumors? Delimitation is the act of redrawing boundaries of Lok Sabha and state assembly seats to represent changes in the population. So delimitation delimitation process is being conducted to check the to represent the changes in the population by redrawing the boundaries of Lok Sabha and state assembly seats. The main objective of delimitation is to, what are the main objectives of this delimitation? Provide equal representation to equal segments of population. So this delimitation gives the presentation to equal segments of the population, and it also aims at a fair division of geographical area, so that one political party does not have an advantage. So this delimitation commission also divides the boundaries of a state, of a area. So this area can't be more beneficial for a particular party, or it's a fair division of geographical area, so that one particular party does not have an advantage. Delimitation provisions of the Jammu and Kashmir constitution. So what are the provisions in Jammu and Kashmir constitution? Delimitation of Jammu and Kashmir's Lok Sabha seat is governed by the Indian constitution. So the delimitation commission in Jammu and Kashmir Lok Sabha seats are mainly governed by the Indian constitution, but delimitation of its assembly seats until a special status was abrogated recently. As we all know that special status has been abrogated, revoked, or it has been abolished from the Jammu and Kashmir so this does not remain for more time. So was governed separately by Jammu and Kashmir constitution. So before this abrogation, the Jammu and Kashmir constitution was governed by the delimitation was governed by Jammu and Kashmir constitution and Jammu and Kashmir Representation of the People Act 1957. So Jammu and Kashmir Representation of People Act 1957 gives the power of delimitation to establishing a delimitation commission and was governed by the Jammu and Kashmir constitution. As far as delimitation of Lok Sabha seats is concerned, the last delimitation commission of 2002 was not entrusted with this task. So this was not entrusted with this task, and the Jammu and Kashmir parliamentary seats remain as delimited on the basis of the 1971 census. As for assembly seats, although the delimitation provisions of the Jammu and Kashmir Constitution and the Jammu and Kashmir Representation of People Act 1957 are similar to those of Indian Constitution. So means the state assembly delimitation was mainly are similar to those of Indian Constitution and delimitation acts also. So they mandated a separate delimitation commission for Jammu and Kashmir. In actual practice, the same central delimitation commission set up for other states was adopted by Jammu and Kashmir in 1963 and 1973. So means the commissions which was set up by Indian government in 1963 and 1973. So they were also being adopted. These commissions, this delimitation was also being adopted by the Jammu and Kashmir government. While the amendment of 1976 to the Indian Constitution suspended delimitation in the rest of the country till 2001. So during emergency, we all know, during Indira Gandhi government, the 42nd Amendment 1976 was done, or was amendment done. So Indian Constitution suspended this delimitation in the rest of the country till 2001. So no corresponding amendment was made to the Jammu and Kashmir Constitution. So after the amendment of 42nd Amendment, there was no amendment being made in the Jammu and Kashmir Constitution. Hence, unlike the rest of the country, the assembly seats of Jammu and Kashmir were delimited based on the 91 census. So these assembly seats were delimited on the basis of the 1981 census, which formed the basis of the state election in the 1996. So the basis here, the state elections of the 1996 take the population record of 1981. They take the census of 1981 and 1996 election. There was no census in the state in 1991, and no delimitation commission was set up by the state government after the 2001. So no delimitation commission was being set up by the state government after the 2001 census, as the Jammu and Kashmir Assembly passed a law putting a freeze on the first delimitation until 2026. This freeze was upheld by the Supreme Court. This freeze, or this law of putting a freeze on first delimitation until 2026, was being upheld by the Supreme Court. This is all what we have discussed so far. So if you like our video, do comment on the comment section and share with your friends, and subscribe our channel if you haven't subscribed, and thank you.